My light's not connected to my app, so I can't change the colour. I'm real sad. But hi, though. I hope everyone's doing well. Hi. Let's see. Turn it off and back on again. It will work. It's just a bit iffy. Hi. So, yes, friendos, today I am playing Fortnite with Trev and Mimi. I see you're both already in the call. I'll join you in a minute. Oh, Trev's restarting. Okay, cool. Clean my family like Hoover is doing its job now. Amazing. Ooh, here we go. Purple? Yeah, okay. First PC is pooping, oh dear. Oh dear. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Mimi, how was your time with family over the weekend? How's things? Blair, how you doing? Lel, you've got your fan going. It's so hot in my room right now. It is... I'm not okay with how warm it is in here. But oh well, we move. So, yeah. You know what? My day's just sort of evaporated. Like... I don't know what's happened, but we're here. You ready for me time? Well, thank you for joining us for games, because I know the feeling. Perfect weather to completely defrost the freezer, honestly, though. Isn't it just? Mimi, oh. Like, on a real level, I feel that and know what that means, so thanks, bestie. Thanks. Doing right, don't think I told you, but we're 99% sure we secured a flat. Let's go! The centre full of documents got sorted this week. That's so good. Is it in the place that you were, like, the area that you were hoping it was going to be in, Lely? Because if so, that's really exciting. But yes, I'm glad you just got somewhere at least, because I know you were no longer able to stay where you currently are, no matter what. So I'm glad you got something sorted. Oh, for sure. That's totally fair enough, Lel. And yeah, I'm glad they were able to do that for you, because oh my god. Okay, the town close to the town with the job prospects. Yes, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. Okay, I should probably open the game, because the game always takes a significant period of time to boot up. But, you know, normal things. Not far from the beach. Ooh, okay, love that. Love that for you. All the beaches by me are a bit shit, to be honest. Like, there are beaches by me, but they're not good beaches. They're kind of shit beaches. But oh well, what can you do? What can you do? Okay. Sorry, I'll have to go into Discord settings quickly to make sure everything works properly. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, good. Yeah, so I've got to move on. Get a move on with cleaning and packing and your schoolwork. Oh god. Beach tomorrow. A beach near us. If it's like to the north of our city, then that's okay. Those beaches are alright. Like where I'm specifically from, the beaches are shit. Sorry, tangents have already begun. Taking a friend's dog. Oh, I love that. Let's see. Oh, is the beach shit, actually? I've not been for so many years. See, on Google Images, the beach looks alright. But when I've been before, it was just mud. The beach was mud. So, you know, oh well. That's one of your quarter-life crisis issues sorted. I'm glad you're getting through your quarter-life crisis. That is very good. I am glad to hear. Okay. Yep, before I start, I feel I should promote that I've got a new YouTube video. It is less than a minute long. It is linked in my Discord, and it is very stupid. I think it's less than a minute long. But that's what my entire day went on today. my entire day went on this dumb editing project. Kitchen's really nice. Ooh, imagine a cooking stream. Didn't you? That's just reminded me, Lyle. Didn't you do a baking stream once when you lived in a basement? And you were like, it was sort of like my setup that you had the kitchen in the background, but it was way further away, so you kept like running over to the camera with the bowl and then running back again. That was you, wasn't it? Oh, was it pumpkin carving, not baking? Ah, maybe it was that. Ah, memories. Yes, okay, cool. Cool. Love that. Okay, I should open the game and get in the Discord. Did you cut Gregor's hair on stream? I don't remember that. I do not remember that one. But very fun. Right, I should game, because, yes, friends, especially friends that I'm gaming with, I only want to stream for a couple of hours-ish, because I should, and my arse will this happen, but I should go to bed early tonight. Because I've got a plumber coming tomorrow morning. Ugh. I want no part of it, but it's on the bod somewhere. I could have a look for that. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna... Oh, right. I'm gonna join the Discord call, but to join the Discord call, I have to stop the music because my whole situation's a bit fucked, but it's okay. Oh, it stopped anyway. Ideal. We got to the end of a song. Right, stand by just a moment. Monitoring device. If I talk now, do you hear... Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Why don't you? That's weird. Never mind. Have I done that right? I don't know if I've done this right or not. Sorry, my audio settings are a bit wacky. Oh, I know why it doesn't work yet. Microphone. There we go. I think you hear an echo of me now, don't you? Yeah, so I should mute that. Okay, I'm joining the Discord call. I'm coming in. Hello?
It's a banana.
Fuck you. We've only just started. Shut up.
You are so quiet, Snow.
Oh, am I? Oh. Me,
Oh,
am I
yeah, have
quiet?
you turned up all the way?
Am I still quiet?
Yeah.
I can turn you up. You were at 100. I turned you up to 150.
I think you sound
cool.
fine.
Okay, cool. I won't mess with my own settings then. That's fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, you sound fine to me.
Okay,
Hello!
Hi.
Hello!
How are you? How are you both doing?
Good. Ready to get this #1 victory royale. We're now about to get down.
Snow, I'm in pain.
Oh
Pain.
no.
Agony.
I think I ended up doing 150 push-ups last night.
Oh, Trev, no.
Trev likes to suffer.
Oh, we already knew that though.
So true.
Hush, hush. Okay, for context, on stream last night, there was a command that every time I died, I had to do 10 push-ups. Well, I was very rapidly approaching more than just 150 push-ups. So
He was playing
Playing Elden Ring, yeah.
trying to fight a boss.
I feel like Elden Ring was necessary for that story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, a boss in Elden Ring where you die a lot. 10 push-ups each death is insane.
Put it this way, had I not put a limit on myself, I would have ended up doing 500 push-ups last night.
I was gonna say 150
Maybe
sounds
you should
low.
do 1 push-up for 1 death. I'm like, I don't even know if I can do 2 push-ups, honestly.
Fair.
I might be able to get 1. Maybe 1. Not 150.
No,
I would die.
Absolutely not.
But I went and saw the new Borderlands movie today.
Oh yeah.
How was it?
It would be a great movie, or not a great movie. It'd be a decent movie if it wasn't a Borderlands movie.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
They definitely changed, like, having Kate Blanchett play
Yeah, she was
Lilith,
playing Lilith, right? It felt
yeah,
weird.
and the timeline and everything's all mixed up.
Oh, I don't
Hmm.
know anything about the lore. I've played
I don't.
Borderlands 2 completely, and I don't know any of the lore.
Nope. I know nothing.
I know no lore. I just play the game and shoot things
I don't play
and
the
run
games.
around. We should play Borderlands sometime. It's actually pretty fun.
Okay, okay. I'll keep it in mind.
It's a it's a looter shooter. I don't know if
Yeah.
Snow will be
Okay,
super
yeah.
into that.
Snow's into Fortnite apparently, so
I'm into.
this is the only reason. And GTA.
Right, hang on. I'm into playing games with you. That's why I'm playing Fortnite.
Okay, but not scary games, so
Not
that's
scary games,
no
but then I
Phasmo or Lethal.
can't explain why I like GTA. But anyway. Oh well. Oh well.
Snow's a GTA streamer. We're
No,
streaming
not a streamer.
GTA.
No. No. Oh, I think my game's
Yeah,
loaded.
Streaming
but
GTA.
Oh, my game's up.
Where are you? Oh, your game's up. Okay.
I have to check the shop as well first.
Where are you? Are you gonna look at the banana?
If it's still there, I was going to make the joke, but you've already made it twice in like 10 minutes. So
oh wait.
waiting.
Wait. I'm clenched. What?
Of course you are.
Look at the main lobby.
Wait, look at the main lobby? Whoa. Oh, it's a banana!
If one of you's bought the skin, I'm gonna alter for the game.
Trev is in the skin.
Oh,
Trev?
fuck's sake.
Why did I say Trev?
Trev.
Trev.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Trev.
This is bullying.
To be fair, I bought this like 6 months ago.
It was
Okay.
Before the banana.
Okay, before. Yeah, cool.
Before the bananas. It's a banana.
Is there a joke that I'm missing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Last
Mimi
time we
bullying
played
me.
Fortnite, I'm bullying Snow.
I'll find the clip, Trev. I'll
Okay.
find the clip and send it to you.
Oh yeah, we clipped it.
Yes, yeah,
I
it was
can change
clipped.
I can change my skin, so I'm not
Change
adding
it.
Oh,
It's
hold on,
the
there's X-Men
trauma.
skins. Okay, Jubilee,
We're
Cyclops,
traumatized
Colossus.
by the bananas.
Cool, cool.
What was I looking for? My brain is so empty right now.
We know, bestie.
I went into... Wait, how do I change my banner? That's what I was looking for.
There are banners in this game?
Yeah, it's like the icon that pops up next to your face.
Oh, I don't know. I still kind of want the Wolverine skin. It looks so cool.
I refuse to spend money on this game.
Well, I know if the right thing comes up, I'm going to spend money on it. Joel tweeted last night that apparently they've announced that Pixar characters are coming.
Really?
And if-
Oh my god, imagine what's his name from Up.
I was going to say Carl from Up
Yeah.
Yeah, if Carl from
You're
Up
gonna be Carl.
appears in the game, I'm
The
gonna...
sweet old man is gonna fuck up your life.
Absolutely.
Or Woody.
Woody.
Woody, yes.
Woody's Roundup. What the heck?
These Galaxy ones are cool. Galaxy skins.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
I swear I was able to find... No, I can't find it now.
Lely said in the lobby part of the locker, I think, Mimi.
The lobby part of... Oh my god, Lely, you were amazing. I love you.
We love Lely.
Oh my gosh, the Upbird. What's his name? Kevin?
Kevin, yeah.
I wanna play as Kevin. If Kevin is a skin, I am here for it.
I could see him being a glider or something.
Oh, a glider,
Would they make him
true.
a glider? Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Wait, there's
Or
a Guardians
the
pack?
balloons for a glider. The balloons.
Oh, the balloons would be cute.
Oh my god, that would be adorable.
There's a
I need
Guardians
to watch
pack.
Up again.
Discord, let's do it.
Okay.
See, I would play as Groot, but it's £21.99. £21.99 for the three of them. Absolutely not.
I am Groot.
Oh yeah, that's almost $30 US dollars.
Yeah.
Yikes. I like how the logo looks completely different
I've joined.
when you actually get into like the lobby area. Like it looks completely different.
What logo?
Like the thing by your name, like the little you have a red pickaxe.
Oh, okay.
I'm changing mine so it looks cute, but I wanted to change it in a way that
Oh.
I like, but
Oh, is it these or something? I don't know.
that's how I feel about that. I feel
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, Lel from chat. If I ever have Scarlet Witch in my shop, I'm spending money.
Of course you are.
That's gonna make me spend money.
Of course.
Oh, I should ready,
That
shouldn't
makes sense. Oh, I should probably ready up too, huh? Yippee.
I? Just when you are ready, of course.
I'm never ready. Oh my god, what the hell is that, Trevor?
As Meowscles.
Oh, Meowscles?
Yes.
I love it, but hate it. I wish it was just a cute cat, not ripped cat. The ripped cat is a little bit disturbing.
Trev, I think we hear you on Discord and in Fortnite as well. I think we have an echo,
Wait, do
Trev.
we?
How about now?
Sounds better, I think.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm playing my PS5 and my PS5 controller.
Ah.
The controller has a mic on it?
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's fancy. Oh, you fancy, huh?
Mm.
Barry,
I know. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I want to see Leighton with a Glock.
Reminds me of a puzzle.
Like
Yep.
a lock in my Ferrari.
Yeah. I got a Glock in my Rari. Indubitably. I can feel Snow's judgment.
No, you're all good. You're all good. No, my Fortnite takes over the lighting on my keyboard, so I was just looking at that. Hi. I have one emote.
Wow, you're not even gonna hug me back. I see how it is now.
Can I do that?
Oh, uh-oh, what?
Yeah.
E to emote together. Ooh.
E.
Aww. Oh, that was cute.
I'm not in the lobby yet.
What, even with your 48 gigs of RAM or whatever you've got?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm in the balloon now, or I'm in the
We're in the
truck.
bus, yeah.
Right? Oh,
How do I-
no, I'm not
how do-
landing
I
at
think-
Fall Guys.
Where are we?
Where are we dropping?
Where are we going? Oh, where are we dropping?
I don't
I
know.
forget how to play. I haven't played since we played.
Oh, no.
Nor have I.
I'll
Oh, this is
remember.
fine.
Where are we dropping?
Well, we gotta drop
You
soon.
want to go to the Nitro Dome?
No!
We're already too
Nitro
late.
Dome.
Let's go here. We're gonna have to go somewhere.
Oh, where are we going? Oh, that is so far away.
Right here.
That's not too far. That's fine. We may die
The
before we
blue
get there, but...
thingy?
There's a purple pin, isn't there?
Oh, we are going. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, we are going
There's
directly
a blue
to
pin,
it.
and then there's a purple pin.
I don't see a
Which
blue
way
pin.
are we going?
I was going purple.
Blue? Fuck, we're split up.
No!
Trev's just decided to go his own way.
Well, I thought we were under the assumption of not going to the Thunderdome.
I did it! Well,
Okay, Mimi,
I'm
are you near the purple thing, or have I got to run to Trev?
going over to...
We're on our way. We'll be there in 20 years.
Wait, are you
I'm
two both
above
together?
you.
Normal things.
I'm above you.
Oh, hi.
Look up
Oh,
in
I
the
see
sky.
you. I see Trev.
Yes.
Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Together. It's in a book. Let's get a car. Let's get a car. Oh, there's Trev. Let's get. Oh fuck! There's people by you, Trev.
Yeah,
I don't have a gun yet.
I have.
fine.
I'm gonna steal their gun. Oh, just kidding. Breaking the law. They're playing Judas Priest.
Yeah.
You're literally just saying
Breaking the law.
words. I don't know. Hi, Mimi.
I would like a gun. Mayhaps.
I
a
thought I had
chance?
one, but I must have dropped it. I had a spare. I mean, I've got one. I'm good, but
No, it's okay. This is fine.
it's fine, right? Oh, I found a chest.
Everything's fine. I still haven't found a gun yet. This is cool.
Okay, I now have a second gun.
Okay. I would like at least one gun
Where are you? You're upstairs.
so I
aren't
can
you?
shoot things.
you?
Okay, Mimi, I'm
I'm
here.
just gonna jump into the Nitrodome.
No, fam, I literally am here with a gun for you, but okay, run away, fine.
Oh shit.
Okay, stay exactly where you are, Mimi. Mimi, stop moving.
Ah!
Mimi!
I found a tiny little pistol.
Okay, that's what I've got as well, so cool.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun time.
Breaking
Where
the
are
law,
you?
breaking the law, and I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot.
What is this?
sleep no.
Oh, shield breaker. Oh, I'm never going to use that.
I'm so good.
Wow.
Can't relate, couldn't be me.
Honestly, though.
Oh, you
Ooh.
can shut up, Mimi. There's a chest here somewhere.
Wow. I'm really not good at Fortnite. I don't know how I got this rep.
Shut your actual face.
I'm not good at Fortnite.
Y'all crack me up.
Oh. I just.
Oh,
I just
Trev's not even
cry
in the
for a
vehicle.
treat.
Trev's just running around. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Breaking the law. Breaking the
Breaking
law.
the law. Breaking the law. Is this a door? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, am I being shot at? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. That's what happens in this place.
Mm.
You just hear noises all the time.
Honestly, that's the mood.
Yo, I'm just getting chests for days. that?
Nitro splishy splashy. There's a tow hook cannon over here.
Do we still have the magneto gloves, or is that finished now?
I think that's finished.
Oh,
Don't know.
that was cool.
Oh shit! You scared me.
Sorry.
That's okay. Are you in a car, Trev?
Yep.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, is that car sound you or someone else?
Yeah, it's me. Sorry.
Snow
I'm just,
hopping.
Oh.
I'm just drifting.
I am in the car.
I'm trying to maneuver out of here.
Oh, is that a person or is that an NPC? That's got to be an
Wait,
NPC.
wait.
Got to be an NPC.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like walking.
I
Fam, you
Forgot
cannot
how-
drive up that.
I have forgotten how to drive. I forgot how to do anything in this game, honestly. But I don't. Oh, there's someone right by the entrance.
Wait, what?
There's someone,
Where's the entrance?
But the way we came in, the hole
Oh.
we came in through,
Okay.
right over here. There was someone here. Oh shit.
I do not
Bye.
see a someone.
They were like over here somewhere,
Okay.
but I no longer see them.
No.
I'm ready to kill. Sorry. Or are they inside here with Trev?
Yes, I think so. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
Oh
they're-
yeah.
they're right here. Fuck you.
Wait, is that a person or is it an NPC?
I don't know.
Oh, those are NPCs. Right?
These are NPCs, but they
Oh,
are
fuck.
shooting at me.
Oh. Okay, so we're okay then. Question
Oh.
mark?
Oh, I'm good. Okay.
Oh, there's some... Oh, shit. Fuck! There's some jizzy juice over here. Oh, well, I
Sure.
flipped them both over. Okay, this is fine. No, fuck. I'm gonna be down. Oh, I'm down.
Wait. From the NPCs
I'm
or
dead.
other people here?
I think there's actual people here.
I'm dead. Yup. They're
Oh
real
no,
people.
someone's got the gloves.
They're real people.
Oh, they're real
I
people, and
told
I'm
you,
so done
I'm
for.
not good at this game.
No, I'm dead. Oh, it's Venom. Someone's got a Venom skin. What a nerd.
Wow. Yeah, and they got the fucking gloves on.
Well, cool.
Well, try hard. Just kidding. Hello.
I'm
Hello,
playing
Mom. I'm your cherry bomb.
Good try, thanks, Lel. Thanks.
You tried. We get the gold sticker.
Whose is the emote? Is it Vic that's got the?
It's
the
Vic,
you tried
yeah.
Emote?
You tried.
I'm sorry, it will take me a minute because I've just got so many gifted subs right now, guys.
I found it. Oh my god! Snow, since we talked about it last, I've gotten gifted 3 subs.
Wow, Twitch is listening.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was I one of those that gifted you?
No. You were not.
I think
It was
I don't know.
3 different channels.
No, it was Katie. I gifted Katie a sub of my own channel.
Mm. Oh, I'm in the lobby now.
Yay! Also, I
Come here.
think I
One's
have Lel. I
Deadpool,
think I'm
of
good.
course. Where are you?
Right,
Oh, I
right
see you.
behind
Hi. I have to emote. Oh! Oh my god! The kitty's eyes go wide. Or is it just how the cat is?
I don't know.
Got
I'm
a
not in
jar
the
of
lobby.
dirt.
Yay!
I literally have just one emote.
Oh, let me default emote with you as well.
Okay.
Let's not go the Nitrodome.
Okay. Where should we go then?
I don't know.
Okay,
Quick,
so
make a
there's-
decision.
No, I
Do
can't. No. It's not
Over
my-
here.
Sure.
Alright.
There's like a little house over there. Like if we
Sorry,
even
bro.
go to like that thing right there,
Yeah, yeah.
there's probably gonna be a few things.
Going up here.
Okay, cool.
Okay. See, there's a bridge here, and there's a
Oh, there'll be stuff on the bridge, won't there? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going for the chest on the right.
I'm going for the chest on the left.
Cool.
I also did a little bit of clothes shopping today.
Ooh,
Little bit of what?
IRL or in fork knife?
IRL.
Nice.
Yeah.
Clothes shopping is so fun.
Oh, clothes shopping. Love that. I need to do more clothes shopping.
Yeah,
I have been just slowly replacing my whole wardrobe, which is basics.
Love that, though.
So,
And I'm
American
kind of
Eagle.
looking
Usually,
Ooh!
I usually cannot, because I have thunder thighs. Like, I literally cannot fit into a whole lot of pairs of jeans. Usually it's just a lot
Literally? That is such a whole mood.
of, it's a lot hard, like, I would say it's harder for women or men. It's very hard to find a pair of pants that fit right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And, I found a pair, and usually skinny jeans are a no-go, but they were the athletic, stretchy kind, and
Ooh.
they did not, like, conform to my body at all, except for, like, for my calves. So it's like, alright, cool. No.
Dang. Ooh.
You gasp?
I got the gun with the thermo clip on it. Thermo
Ooh,
thing.
let's go.
I can never go back to skinny jeans.
I never had a skinny jeans phase. Just avoided them.
Well, see, they
My
don't
legs
look like
can't
skinny
breathe.
jeans. I had one pair of skinny jeans in high school, and I hated them.
I lived
That's
in
so
skinny
fair.
jeans for the longest time. It was like all I would wear. It was in the emo era, you know? Making a comeback, y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
Eureka, count me in.
Did you already do the windmill, Trev?
Huh?
Did you go to the
Yes.
windmill up there? Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Not a whole lot of anything.
Ooh, I forgot about this too. How could I forget?
Yeah.
The next season drops shortly.
Oh, I've got the Magneto gloves. Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Are they the Magneto gloves or the
They're
Nitro Fist?
they're literally called Magneto gloves.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know they were still on. My apologies.
Oh shit.
Wow.
I accidentally activated them.
Breaking the bow.
Oops.
Oh wait, am I not thinking of these? What's the one that you can like fly around with?
The guitar.
Oh, is it the guitar? Oh.
Yeah, the Metallica guitar.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for bishes. I got no bishes, no maidens.
Oh, same though. Fully same.
No maidens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maidenless. I hear... Oh, you got it. Okay,
Yep.
good. Why are you breaking the things, Trevor?
What do you mean?
Do you just like destruction?
Yes.
Fuck! Oh god, that was you. Oh god, you scared me.
I'm trying to be a better teammate so you don't yell at me.
Oh. I thought you liked that, though.
Okay, I didn't want to say it, but I thought it, so thanks.
Listen.
Oh my,
Don't have to help me like that.
Okay, whatever you say.
Mm-hmm, we believe you.
Yeah. Oh, someone's getting shot.
Yeah. I was getting shot at, but I killed him.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
well, where there's one person, there's more people.
Yes, yes.
Especially in
Swimming.
trios. Where he at?
Fine. I don't see anybody.
Where are we?
Right here.
What's going on?
Are they like down below us, I'm guessing?
My brain go burr.
Oh yeah. No, Trev's just
Oh,
fully
shit.
dealt with them.
Hello.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, there's more fists over here.
Oh, Nitro Fist. Is that what I was thinking of?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, shit,
okay.
shit.
Well, I literally don't see them.
Nice. Good job.
Did it. Oh my god, their name was Please Be Nice to Me. I feel so bad.
Aww.
Well,
I feel
to be fair, don't
straight
feel
up
bad. They did
so
shoot
bad.
They did shoot us first.
That is
So
very true.
true.
Equal rights, equal fights. Regardless if you say you're nice or not.
Wow. Who is that? Who's an SMG? It's a schmug.
Nice one, thank you.
Little schmuggle.
No, take that, please.
Yuppie! What's going on? My brain is so empty right now, actually.
Just swimming around, having a good time.
I'm just doing a little swimmy swim.
No, take this,
Joel! Hi, Joel!
Joe!
How are you, Joel? How's
Hello.
things? I hope you're doing well.
Oh no.
I'm going to put you on the spot
Joel.
immediately. There's 3 people in here. If you did want to play Fortnite, you're welcome to. But no pressure to. Love you, okay? You're welcome to just chill in chat. That's fine. Love you.
Oh shit. Oh, there's something shooting to the west.
Yep,
What in the hell way is west? That way. Okay.
There's a compass at the tippy top of your map.
I see that now, thank you.
Or your screen.
Okay, Joel's
Utilize
studying.
the
That's so
compass.
okay, bestie. Yes, I hope you're doing well, friend. I hope studying's going well. I've run out of the sprint.
Oh, you scared me.
Sorry. Oh, finals are tomorrow. Oh, good luck, friend. Good luck.
Oh my gosh. Let's go. You've got this. Oh god. Oh goodness gracious. Oh goodness. Trevor, you just kind of ran into it.
Trev's built different.
Oh, it's so true though.
You know, I'm actually yet to see anybody else on my screen.
I've got one elimination, Nito.
No, like on a real level. By the time I get there, the bad guys are always dead. You've already dealt with them. I'm okay with that, don't get me wrong. Ooh, I have a sniper now, let's go.
Snooper.
5 exams this week. Oh god, that's...
Oh gosh, that's so many.
Yes, Trev's playing with us as well, Joel.
You've got this.
Oh god. My shoulder.
Oh no. You poor baby.
And no, not yet, Joel. Not yet.
It's okay.
Wait, I've just realised if you hold space, you don't do infinite jumps like Minecraft. You know, I can't just hop along.
Oh no! Wait, I need to
Wait,
get
I've got a
juiced up
tiny little
again.
jump.
I've been trying to save my things.
Hold on, does jumping use stamina in this game?
If you're sprint jumping, yes.
Oh, stinky.
Stimky.
Stinky. Also, Mimi, there was green water right here, just so you know.
There's what?
There's the green goop sprint water thing right by us.
Oh, I thought you said 3 wolves, and I am like so used to Elden Ring now. I'm like, 3 wolves where?
Oh, is that someone, Trev?
Yep.
Over there.
Yeah, they're behind a tree.
Got him.
Sick.
Yes! Oh shit, I sniped them, bitch.
Good job.
Oh, for sure, Blair, for sure. Minecraft has ruined it.
Look at us go.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I'm contributing.
Ooh, I should swap this.
Snow, can you please get some shield?
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, I just gobbled some shield down. I'm so sorry.
If I see some of the shield, I will get some of the shield.
Ooh, there's some more gloves. Magneto power.
Drink this.
Hang on, I've got some. What, the cola?
Yeah, drink it.
Oh, that was just you. I swear, I hear footsteps and I think it's someone else and I'm paranoid.
Why do I feel like somebody's watching me?
All the time!
Never said I could sing, but hey. See if it counts, right?
Sing your little heart out.
Also, I'm probably gonna have to take my PC in to check out what the hell's going
on. Oh no.
That's so sad.
Because now it's doing Fortnite when it didn't used to do that. So I don't know if it's a voltage spike or something.
Get down, take kills. Just fight at the Mayo Town. Should we find a car?
I can see 2 cars, I think. Yeah, only small cars.
Do they have enough room for all of us?
Ooh, no, but I see 2 of them.
That's some G's.
Nice.
Oh yeah, we can ride on top of it though. Who wants to get on the roof?
Sure.
Get in here, Trevor.
Trust me, yeah.
We got a #1 victory royale. Fortnite, we about to get down. Oh fuck, it's going this way. Okay.
When you say
We're
it's going this way.
Wild ride.
Come on.
Oh, we're going for a little bit of a ride.
Yay. I cannot wait for next season.
Ooh. Next season of what? Fork knife?
Yeah.
Yes, my favorite
So,
season.
so cars can be nerfed back into the ground.
Is this not normal for cars?
Usually they're not this strong.
Oh, okay.
Usually they don't have the turrets and everything.
There's some
Oh,
people
really?
fighting down
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
there's some
gonna get
shooting
out
somewhere.
real quick.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna stay in the car where I feel safe.
That's so fair.
Oh, I'm gonna run this bitch over. Fuck you. I am a great contribution. Oh fuck.
Oh, I'm
never mind.
down.
Never mind.
Cyclops killed me. Sad times.
Fucking get down, bitch! No!
Ah, I didn't know the
Sure,
cars
maybe.
were this season thing.
Ah! I fell off the cliff!
I got
Damn
some
it!
charge.
I downed them, but I fell off a cliff. Oopsies.
There we go.
Got full kill
Okay,
on you.
hi Joel. I've muted myself in
thank
Discord.
you.
I hope you're doing well, lovely. I hope
Is Snow
things are
dead
good.
dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck.
dead.
Fuck off.
Wow. Okay, rude.
No, I meant those guys. Wait. Fuck.
Got him.
Oh, your
Oh,
team
thank God.
anti-car. Ooh, okay, interesting.
Oh my
Interesting.
god. I'm panicking.
Sorry, I missed like
Holy
everything.
fuck.
But Lel, I would be down to play
I'm
Fortnite
actually
sometime.
panicked
But
right now.
yes, I know what you mean. Like,
Okay, do
I'd
you have
get
Snow's
absolutely
card?
wrecked.
Yes, I do have
Okay,
some charge.
good. Oh, thank
You can
God.
take this
Oh, thank
SMG.
you.
Oh god, I hear more. I hear more people, I think. Wait, SMG?
No.
Where?
Oh, you're painting minis.
Alright,
Nice
good
one, Blair. Nice.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. Oh god. Ah.
I'm gonna go.
And yes, when
Snow real quick.
Pixar
I'm
characters come to
stressed high.
Fortnite,
Wait,
for
wait,
sure.
wait. Do you need me to go with you?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Kind of like the chaos they added.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's fair, Lel. That's fair.
Where are they?
Staying
Up on the
here.
island.
Oh fuck.
You played Fortnite. I didn't know that. Cool. Love that. I
I
believe
can't reach them
so,
with my
Joel.
gun.
I believe so.
Fuck. No, I can't reach them.
It's
Fuck.
okay.
Oh, I'm gonna get down.
But yeah,
Right now,
Joel,
we're about to
I'm.
get down.
If I ever see the Wanda skin, I'm buying that one.
Meet me if you make your way. Ooh,
There was a prop hunt. Wow.
Downtown, walking fast. Paces
I
past,
got
I'm
some
freaking out.
shield for you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still rocking default skin. This is fine. Joel, you are all. I know not today, of course. That's so fine. But yes, I want to play Fortnite and Uno and Minecraft
Playing
and
Fortnite.
just sit in calls and chat with you.
I'm
friends.
coming
I wanna do all
over. Fuck! I'm being shot.
But yes, only when you're ready. And Sploon, there we go.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely,
Wait.
and Sploon.
What now?
Fuck! How do I crouch?
Uno, yes, Blair.
Oh fuck! They're coming around. Fuck off! Fuck!
Getting in the water.
Fuck! I'm downed. Fuck! Oh damn it! They killed me.
No. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. I didn't know I'd been rebooted and I just got killed again. I was messaging my mum saying good night, okay? Let me be.
Wow!
Let me live my
you
life.
are not locked in. How dare you? You are not locked in.
No, I thought I was dead. This coming back to life thing's too much for me.
Bring me to life. Come on,
I love the
Trev,
chat
you've
just
got
exploded.
this.
I actually
You've
cannot
got
even
this,
fit it all on
Trev,
screen.
Carrying us. Sorry, Mom, can't say goodnight right now. I got a lock and a fork knife. Hell yeah. I gotta be locked in. I gotta get that #1 victory royale.
SMH.
Do it for the banana.
Shut up.
Yeah. Trev!
Ooh.
What the hell? Trev is cracked.
Truly, very truly.
Should we snipe on the island next time? Seems to be the fucking strat. Oh god, they're shooting.
You're blending
at you.
right in, Joel.
Oh,
no one
rip.
would suspect a thing. What's my button? Is it
About
that
to
one?
get down, get down.
Ah,
Well, at least the thingy's gonna close in on them. The storm.
the storm, yeah. Totally not. No.
Just camp out in the house. That's what I would do, honestly. I'd be like, I'm too afraid. I'm staying here.
Silly buggers, absolutely. Silly buggers. You good, Mimi? Oh
I
shit.
laughed at the silly buggers, but I like inhaled too much and
Yeah.
I just choked.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
This is fine. Oh god. That is so stressful. The car just pulling up is so stress. I love Trev's camping strat. Oh my god! Literally on the edge.
Huge.
Literally edging the map.
What? Sorry?
What?
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 Okay.
Do not perceive.
What?
They don't suspect anything.
Just outlast everyone.
Yeah.
Be suspicious.
Don't
be
be
suspicious.
suspicious.
Oh, God.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. There's 6 people left, so there's only 5 more.
Barry, oh my god.
Don't be suspicious.
There's 3 squads left, so
Oh shit. So I mean, hopefully they'll shoot most of each other.
Yeah.
there's a trio, duo, and a solo left.
Oh shit, a full ass trio? Oof.
Yeah.
Ew.
That's not great. And then you're on your own. Get in the car! Hell yeah!
Woohoo!
I'm in me mom's car. Brum, brum. Run him over! Kick his ass!
I don't like the situation which I'm in.
Yeah, oh, the car
Yeah.
is done for. Oh, goodness gracious. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah.
Magneto.
Got the fucking, what's his face over there? Oh, his shield's down! Oh, shit! Oh, God! Oh, God! No!
Way!
I took I took one.
That was good, though!
So good.
Oh,
That was so good. See, Trev is the goated one.
Oh, for sure. Oh no, yeah, Spider-Man.
Goated with the sauce. Oh my god! What? Oh my god! This person's pulling out the strats.
No, not the mine, it's Morales skin.
Oh
These
no.
people are too good. Imagine being good at Fortnite. Like, how many hours have you wasted on this game?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm not good at it. How is everyone?
I'm good.
I'm good, I'm good.
I
Oh,
had a
I saw-
sandwich earlier,
Ooh.
and now I'm kind of a little hungry.
Fair. I had a whole bowl of pasta before stream. I'm not hungry.
Oh, that sounds so good. I love pasta. I love pasta. Pasta. I got a Glock in my Rari.
You're welcome, Mimi.
Thank you. I'm just practicing my headshots on Trev.
Yeah. Work is gonna suck tomorrow.
Does this mute me for
I
Discord?
should not.
Don't think about it.
I think it does. Okay, cool.
Do what I do and
Ooh.
just don't think. No thinking. Not today.
Actually.
Yeah,
Joel,
no,
I
that
do
sucks.
Have a Gwen Stacy skin.
Where we dropping?
You do?
I do.
Oh, jealous. I don't know, Mimi. Where are we dropping?
I don't know. Why am I always the one who has to pick it?
Because
Go in here.
of the dynamic we have.
So true.
What, the blue one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Baylee, we do have a free space.
I guess I can switch my screen to Fortnite.
We got a #1 victory royale. Right now, I'm about to get down. Get down.
Actually, I'm going here. The red dot.
Okay, cool. I'm like dropping on a
Well, you just
house.
got rid of it.
Here.
I'm gonna go in my house.
There is going to be people here. Just throwing that.
Oh,
out there.
fuck, really?
Yeah. Do you not see all? You guys don't have visual audio on, do you?
I'm gonna assume no.
I'm confused, but okay.
Okay, so whenever you get a chance and you're in a safe area, I'll walk you through it. It helps you out a lot.
Okay.
It doesn't sound very
Okay.
reassuring.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Bailey.
I'm nervous.
It's Bailey if they join.
100%. That's like part of the reason.
Okay.
It's nothing you're not used to already. It's okay. Where is everyone? Oh, hello.
Oh, well, they must be at the Fall Guys thing.
Ooh,
Fall
chest.
Guys.
Yay.
Okay, alright. So go to start and go to your settings.
I'm on settings.
Go over to audio and then go down to sound.
Audio. Sound. Yes.
And then go to visualize sound effects.
Oh, it says they're on.
Okay. Well, yeah, the visual audio is when you get that little circle and it'll show you what steps. Like if someone's stepping, footsteps. If someone's shooting.
Okay, yeah.
I see. That's why I like can see the blips on my compass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you want to play some tennis? Oh, shit. Someone's right there.
You were by yourself. Coming to help.
Okay.
I'm on my way, but a little bit far away.
I'm gonna be down. Oh, thank God. Thank you. Thank
Eh.
you.
I'm
Fuck.
still
hold
coming. Okay, I'm on the tennis court. Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Oh shit. Oh God. Oh the God. You scare me.
I literally
Where's my
announced that.
friend? Can I remove my marker?
Yes.
I'm trying to.
Here.
Oh, I have to be targeted like on the marker.
Hmm.
Oh, oh,
Oh, well?
Go.
oh, I'm coming over to your
Oh,
location.
there you go. There you go.
Oh, wow. Well, GG's, gamer.
Yeah, Fortnite, we about to go down.
Get down. Oh my God, I love him.
You love him now until.
Uh-oh. No! Don't fight him.
But
looks
his
French.
shotgun's so good.
Okay, I mean, do what you gotta do, but that's scary. Uh-oh.
What is that? What have you done?
No. Like, do we also have to fight him?
You don't have to. Yay.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna steal that.
Nice. Oh, shield. That's something I should do.
I was gonna say, yeah, I need a shield too. I don't have any
Maybe I
shield.
just threw one at
Oh,
you.
shit.
What just happened? Oh, this is a shield breaking thing. Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Threw a
Trev.
shield
Oh,
potion
that one.
Right here.
Thanks.
Glug, glug, glug.
Yay.
Yeah,
I got
Fortnite,
my
we about to
shield,
get
glug,
down.
glug. Get down. Oh, there's a big old truck over here.
Big old truck.
Big
Oh,
old
another
truck.
shield thing. Lovely.
Get in the big old truck, y'all.
Hang
That's
on.
an SUV. That's not a truck.
Oh, whatever. It's a truck.
It's not a truck.
Snow!
Well, I'm coming.
Get in the car!
All right. Well, I mean, we don't have
I'm in the car.
storm to worry about.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you gonna be driving for a while?
Is that a minion? Oh, I
No,
know,
it's a
that's the Fall
beam.
Guy. What does the Fall Guy do?
I've no idea. It's a new thing, I think.
Yep.
We'll probably look where we're going.
I want
Oh,
tires.
sure.
We've got tires now. Does anyone need another little baby potion?
I'm all
I
set now.
kind of need a shield,
I'm
though.
good.
I thought I heard
Just
noises.
keep us safe. I gotta try to do something real quick.
Oh, no pressure.
Mhm.
Nervous.
I just
I feel like-
fucking spilled my whole thing. So sorry.
Oh, no!
Oh no!
That's the worst. Okay, I'll keep everyone safe and sound.
Also, we're not
just
in the
gonna-
next circle, by the way.
Oh, shit. Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome.
I just completely forgot.
No worries, Baylee. No worries.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, I want it. Oh, God. There's someone here. Fuck, I didn't get it!
Wait, where?
Wait, is someone here?
Y'all blind
There's
lines.
exploding things. YOLO. My tire looks kind of fucked up right now. It's
They've been
fine.
like that the whole time for me.
Oh.
I don't know if it's like good or bad.
We got a #1 victory royale. Fortnite, we about to get it. Yeah. Oh, oh, okay, there we go.
And there's people somewhere I can hear shooting.
There's one right there. There's
There
Peter
is.
Griffin! Fuck you, Peter! Oh, fuck.
Also, we're keeping Trev safe, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's true, right.
Okay, I knocked somebody down. Oh, Peter's down as well.
Fuck you, King! Aang is going down! Yeah! Knocked down. Oh shit, someone's right there. Oh, I tried to hit Aang. He's just down still. Fine. Okay, get fucked. Okay, this is fine. Okay. Locked on. Lock
Where?
in!
Huh?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Locked
well,
the fuck
Nice.
in.
Nice.
I have-
Locked in.
I have audio now. Let's go.
My car
Yay,
is sad,
hi.
but it's okay. Oh, there's someone knocked down over here. They're
What?
killed.
Yay.
I killed them.
What in the world has happened to this car?
Oh, a lot. It's fine.
I have been running people over. I've been killing everyone with a car.
You make me so proud, but you also stress me the hell out.
That's such a
I've been
mood.
told that many times before, honestly. Is there a
Also,
car
snow.
repair place? Oh, there's another truck over here though. We can abandon this truck and just take another
We
one.
can.
Snow, is your stream PG?
Let's get
13
him.
Or
Oh, we're good. It's fine.
18
Yeah.
plus?
Hop
We're
into
fine.
this truck. Oh wait, what is it?
I just don't want to curse or anything.
No, no, no. We don't give a fuck. It's fine.
You can say fuck. Wait, there's gonna be a thingy over here, huh? Fuck this tree.
So
Are there any? There's no car parts over here. That's so sad.
Sad times.
I'm gonna change out my shorts. Scratch. I spilled the rest of my Coke Zero on.
No.
That is so sad. What a waste of Coke Zero.
Where are we going,
is there a
bestie?
car? Is there? I don't know. I'm just
Or
driving.
are we fine?
There's a car behind us, I think.
Oh.
I hear. I'm just trying to find upgrades for the car.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that way is that way is
Go
not
off, Bailey.
good.
Go off.
This way. Oh, what's that? There's like a. Oh, it's just a chest. Does anyone?
hat on.
What's over there? Is that someone? Why is that car glowing?
It's not.
Oh.
What is that?
What is that?
I have no idea.
Wait, should I run into it?
I'm gonna have an... Oh, okay.
Is it like a teleporter?
It's probably just a graphical glitch.
I think it is, yeah. I think it's
Oh,
like
that's
a
weird.
just a wheel of something, a tire.
Ah, it's really cool.
Huh. Joel, it would not surprise me if Mimi drove like this.
Oh,
at
me neither.
IRL.
I am actually a wonderful driver.
Hey, y'all want to hear a funny story?
Go on.
So, my sister,
Fuck,
right?
we're being shot at, I think.
I was in 8th grade at a wrestling meet. And,
Okay.
my sister leaves to go to like McDonald's or something to grab me something to eat, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
on her way back, tell me why my sister hit
Ain't nothing
not
but
one,
a heartbreak.
but 2 parked buses.
Squeak. She
Oh,
hit 2
hello.
parked buses?
Yeah,
Two.
2 parked school buses. You know
In
those
one
bright
trip?
yellow thing? Yeah, in one trip. She hit the
That
first
takes
one,
skill.
overcorrected into the opposite lane. There was someone else coming, and then
Oh,
she
dear.
was still driving forward, and then hit the rear end of the second one.
Okay,
Oh,
this
dear.
feels like a bad idea all of a sudden.
I looked away for a minute. How are we here? How's this happened to us?
I can recover from this. Oh, we've abandoned Trev.
I got
Well,
out.
Trev's not here.
Or
Oh.
Trev abandoned us, rather, honestly.
You know, I kind of don't blame him.
Oh my gosh. You know, after this, I don't know. Ain't nothing but a heart.
Okay, there's person up on our right.
Where? Right?
On the right, like directly
Oh.
through the rocks.
I see them! Come here,
They're above
bitch.
me.
Come here, bitch. We see you from the distance! Oh, shit!
Oh, there's people like right here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, they're shooting each other, so I'm gonna target this person.
Y'all, I could use some help.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we've abandoned Trev. That's what's happened here.
Oh! Fuck! Where are you, Trev? Where are you? Oh, fuck. You're dead. That's what you are. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. We're gonna grab your card and then get out of there.
Good luck.
Good
Are there
luck.
lots of people there?
We don't need
Yeah.
luck. We got a
Oh
truck.
dear.
There was at least 2 other teams there.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
this is. I'm floating in the river. Down, down, down by the river. Down, down, down by the river. Oh shit. Oh my god, you were so far away.
I think Trev stayed where he was, just to defend Trev. I think we left.
You know, maybe.
Yeah, don't worry about me. Get the hell out of there.
That's
is
not an
there-
option.
Oh, I see the people there. Hello. Goodbye. Oh shit! Yeah, look at all these people. Look at all
I
those
cannot sleep. I
chickens.
cannot dream tonight. I need
I need
somebody,
somebody in a way.
I literally only know the main lines.
darkness comes through being all these lonely areas. Oh,
Oh shit.
oh shit!
Sorry.
That was a strat on their part. Okay, that was actually really low-key great.
I think that was
Honestly,
me that did that.
That was such a good strat. I
Oh
can't
my
be
God.
mad.
I'll
Honestly,
be right back.
I can't be
Oh,
mad.
no worries, Trev, no worries.
We're stuck here. We're gonna have to leave.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's possible that it was me that shot the stairs, by the way, just so you know.
Wait, you did destroy the stairs?
Might have been, yeah. Just like
That was
potentially.
you?
Potentially, yeah.
Wow, that's kind of funny though.
Okay, yeah, I'm down. Oh, there's a person like right behind me and they just don't care.
Oh, fuck,
Hey,
okay,
they got
okay,
knocked down.
Okay.
There's no way I can
Okay.
like heal
Oh, God.
myself, is there?
Jesus fuck. This is fine. Everything's fine.
It's
Everything's so
fine.
fine. Everything is so fine right now. I am fucking terrified.
Bestie, could you maybe come over to me, perhaps?
I'm trying so hard.
Hi.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
I hope no one sees me.
I think we're okay.
Okay. Thank God.
Well, this takes a long ass time.
It does. It's 10 full seconds.
Yikes.
Oh shit!
Thanks,
Where's
bestie.
Trev's card?
I don't know. I think it might have gone. What's that weapon? Okay, swap that.
This is fine.
Oh, yes, give me the... I'm not going to finish the sentence, but you know what it was.
So fine. Where's Trev's card? Did you get Trev's card? Where's Trev's card?
No, I think it might have despawned. It was like a while.
Oh,
Nope,
it's like way
you got
down here.
90 seconds.
Oh, where is it then? Oh, I see.
Right there.
I see. I don't
I
have to
got
get down
your
there.
card!
Yes. Also,
Where's the? Oh shit! The nearest one's over there. Snow, get in a car.
I'm
Get
a
in some
try.
car.
did y'all see the Australian breakdancer
No.
in the Olympics?
Yes, the cringe.
It was so bad.
It was real cringe. Fuck, there's someone over here.
Where's over
I
here?
think I heard. Okay.
Also, where's the reboot thing?
We're gonna have to find. It's in the storm right now.
Oh, okay.
Baylee,
We're
I
gonna
will
have to find
send
a-
it to you.
We're gonna have to get a car. I'm gonna jump down and get that over here. I also need a shield. I'm very unshielded right now.
Oh, me too. I've got no shield and 30 health. That's fine.
Wait, do you? Oh fuck! Someone's coming. Do you need a med kit? Oh fuck!
mean,
fuck!
if
Fuck!
you
Someone's
got it,
shooting us!
but-
Someone's shooting us! Someone's shooting us!
Yeah.
Fuck off!
Wait,
Oh,
can I
fuck
attack with
yeah.
these? There we go.
Oh,
Yeah, go.
okay, they're dead.
Huge.
Amazing, incredible. Oh my god, I'm so fucking stressed. There's a little bandage over here. Also, there's two if you need them.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Please heal yourself. Someone's shooting at us.
I'm a heal.
Okay, good. Or someone's
Wait, the
shooting in
bandages are so
general.
slow.
Okay,
Oh, I'm down from fucking who knows where.
Leave. I'm so sorry.
No, go. I don't even know where I got
Mine?
shot from.
Oh, no.
Okay. No, this is fine.
Also, could we possibly go back
Fuck.
to lobby?
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Yes, Trev, that's fine.
Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Okay, yep, that works perfectly.
cool. Return to
Oh,
lobby.
wait, shit. Return to lobby instead. Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries. And are you good as well, Trevor? Something going on?
No, I just wanted to change up my skin.
Oh, okay, fine, no worries. Joel, you know what I was going to say. You know what that sentence was. Priorities, I know, right? Yeah, Mimi referencing everything. Ooh, what's that? Sure, I don't know what they do. Look at me leveling up, I know. Whoa, Trev, the skin. Damn. Buy cosmetics in the battle pass. Hi, back.
Hello. Are you
Oh, I
a Master
see.
Chief, Trev?
Oh, that's how I can get V-Bucks. Oh, I understand. Okay. Ah. Yay, my literal first V-Bucks. Cool. Oh, and then on the high levels. Oh, no, not everything's locked, but I'm not at the right level. Ah, I understand. I see. Yeah.
How are you eating noodles with your mask on?
Also, I've been talking this whole time and my mic's been muted.
Oh, I'm
shit.
sorry, Trev. I thought you were like in the zone.
I thought you were in the zone too.
Yeah, it's Doom Guy, not Master Chief.
Oh! Oh my god, that makes sense.
But,
They look the same.
but,
But
I do have Master Chief.
Oh my god,
Ooh.
it is Master Chief.
we do, Joel. We do. We sell
Where are we
Fortnite
falling,
gift cards.
boys? Wait, I just saw that in the corner. I didn't know
Oh, in
they
the top
had
corner.
Doom
Oh, I
Guy
see,
in
yeah.
Fortnite.
Should we play Fall Guys sometime? Should we do that?
Ooh, I low-key have a love-hate relationship with Fall Guys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I played like once.
I might have over 100 hours, but it's fine. It's fine.
Oh!
I played a lot of Fortnite in lockdown. That was like my game. Let me check.
That makes sense.
And no, Joel, that would be like too close to a money dupe glitch. I think they don't let us have that.
I am so ready to kick some ass.
Well, you're literally not ready in the game, but you know.
I just readied up!
My bad.
Let me see. Fall Guys.
Trev's used to not readying up in Phasmo.
Do you know what my?
I'm not gonna-
Wait, does someone want to join us?
Baylee asked. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know if they're still here. Baylee, are you still here? Are you still here?
Baylee, pss, 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 pss.
Baylee. Also, though, I have just discovered my Fall Guys playtime. It may be 262 hours.
That's
Oh,
fine.
that's it? That's fine.
Yeah, I know, but for Fall Guys, that's like a lot. Baylee, yeah, did you want to join? Did you want to join?
Ah!
Was there anything else we don't want to contribute? No, no worries, no worries.
Oh my god, please!
Baylee, please join. I know how much you hate my ASMR.
You can kick Trevor's ass. Just kidding. We're on a team together. Damn it.
There is modes that we can play that we can like load up and do like our own little thing.
No.
Okay.
Fair.
No.
Fair.
No.
Okay.
We're a team, damn it.
Fall Guy Islands? That's
Oh, it's
hilarious.
pain, Joel. To get like anything in this game is so expensive.
We can play the hexagon game.
What's that?
Hexagon from Fall Guys.
Yeah. if you scroll
That
down
was
to the
my
Fall Guy
shit.
Island-
That was my shit back in the day. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you scroll down in your game modes and everything,
Wow.
go to Fall Guy Islands, and there's
Fall Guy Islands. Only up Fall Guys. Minigames.
I forgot that this has like,
community.
yeah.
Like they got Bed Wars in Fortnite.
It's like Roblox where
Really?
they have all
Oh, wow.
these like mini games and shit.
I don't know anything about Roblox.
My
Okay.
niece is playing it, and it is
okay.
annoying.
Fair.
So
We sell the gift cards in work. They're annoying as well.
So, I downloaded Roblox for the very first time the other day because I saw people playing
Yes.
that, like, the dress to impress
Yes, Baylee,
game.
in my Discord server. If you're in that, I don't know if you are. If you're not,
And I played a little bit of Dress to Impress.
that is my Discord. Yes, you're welcome to join, Baylee.
But that's all I've played of
the-
Roblox. I have no
Well,
idea
yeah.
what else it is.
I might have to give you the role. Give me a sec. Okay, yeah, Bailey's just getting in. Sorry, I was muting and talking to Baylee.
Oh, you're so good.
That's... You're in primary school when you started playing Roblox. Oof.
How old is Roblox?
I don't
Well,
think it's that old.
Barry's younger than me, but not by much.
Is it? Roblox release date. Oh, that's
Hey.
weird. September 1st of 2006.
2006?
What?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
2006.
Okay, Baylee, we're in a stream call. You're welcome to join. I've added the role. You should be able to just click on it and get in. I know, right? Older than Minecraft.
That is wild.
Hello.
Oh god, you're so loud.
Oh.
Yes.
Also, let me know if you can hear me okay, because my mic's different.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Ooh,
How's
I
your mic
can hear
different?
ya.
Like, it's in a different setup. Trevor, you know why my mic is different.
I didn't realize you changed up your location.
Where we drop
Well, when you put a mic on a boom arm, the location of the mic does inherently change.
This is true.
Yes. But listen here, you little shit.
Ah, yo, whippersnapper! Trev's going old man over here.
I can't join because you're in a trio.
Oh shit! Hold up a minute.
Trevor, wow.
Squad.
Oh, true.
Wait, we're not friends on Fortnite, Baylee.
Nor with
Well, that
me.
sounds like a you problem.
Wow. It is kind of a me problem, honestly. Trevister. No, Trevis.
That's not what that said, bestie.
Chestifer.
There you go.
Try again, Mimi. Take it slow. Take it slow.
Sound it out.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh
Also, Baylee,
no,
did you get
no.
my invite?
I got Mimi's invite.
Worcestershire? No, Trevstershire.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Ooh, love the skin.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Very nice.
I said it was cute, and then like 2 seconds later, Trev was like, "Bailey, check your whatever it's called."
Oh
And then I
wow,
have
okay.
this.
Okay,
Nice.
Trev's like that, I see.
Well,
We're just rocking our default skins.
Y'all haven't asked or said anything about what skins you like, so I can't very well just.
I'll be
you know,
careful
say-
not to in the future then, thank you.
No, you need it ready.
Oh, am I or L? That's so embarrassing.
Wow.
Please.
Wow.
Finally wasn't me.
In Phasmo again.
Every single time it's me and Phasmo, and I just want to like jump off a building.
Oh no! Well, you can jump off a building in Fortnite.
Well, here's the
I'm
thing,
sorry.
Bailey. Here's the thing. It's not your fault
It's
because
me.
when no, hear me out. It's not your fault because you always ready up, and then Mimi will change up the map and then unreadies everyone.
See, that's what just happened to
It's not
me.
your
Mimi's
fault.
fault.
Yeah, it's Mimi's.
Yeah, that's what happened to me,
Wow.
so shut up as well.
Sure, yeah, changing the map.
Yeah. I got a job.
I'm so sorry. You can't actually sit on my lap right now because I will probably like scream and scare you.
All good, all good.
I should have taken a picture of it before I opened it. The box that this frickin' boom arm came in, I thought for a second they had shipped me the wrong thing.
Oh wow.
I was convinced. It's like the size of a human.
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
No, wait, what?
Wild.
Well, I mean, you know, humans can be. It's like the size of.
I swear to God, Bailey, do not fucking say it.
I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Um,
It's like the size of like I don't know, maybe a
toddler?
first grader.
Okay, cool,
A
cool.
toddler?
It's because the
I don't know if
didn't
we're
consider
actually
that, like-
dropping there. I just posted.
yeah,
a
I don't know
pin.
where we're dropping.
I posted a yellow pin.
Are we dropping at the yellow pen?
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
that's
Oh
so
shit!
soon,
There's so many
but-
people going down there. There are
That's
so
Because
many
in
people
my
fine.
head,
going down
in my
there.
head, boom arms, you know, they bend. It didn't come bent. It came like all straight. You
Oh
know?
wow.
So
Damn. That's kind of hateful.
There's so many
Why is it
people
always
there.
gotta be straight?
I know.
right? Oopsie.
Why are there
Honestly.
so many people? I'm kind of just like floating away. I'm hoping that if I float far enough away, there won't be any people.
That's okay.
I see a gun, so I'm gonna grab it.
Same.
And what if I just like crouch under here? Will anyone notice?
Probably.
Oh, probably. You
Oh
know,
shit, a person.
that's probably correct.
Aha, they have no weapon.
See, this is also kind of good because if they don't
Oh,
got a
wow, this
weapon, they
weapon's
can't defend
so slow.
themselves.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, I'm being shot at, I believe.
I spawned
see you.
some.
Where are
What
we
is this weapon?
Hello.
We're in
I'm here.
build? Oh no!
Wait, we are in build?
Yes.
Fuck. Uh-oh. Fuck.
Oh, Mimi.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
That's okay, we'll just...
Alright, guess it's up to me. I'll be the build
Build
master.
for us.
I literally don't know how to build. It's fine.
I don't know either. Build for us, Trevor. Trevor, build for us.
As long as I don't die.
Yeah,
will
let's
protect.
go for not doing that. What is this drone thing?
There's someone over there. I destroyed their shit.
Nice.
I spawned some buried treasure, but I have no clue where it is.
Love that, though.
My phone just buzzed and I don't know what's going on.
Buzz buzz.
Fuck
Never
you.
mind, I found it.
That person's dead. That person's down. Duh. Goodbye. Oh, fuck. It's okay. We don't even need to build. These fucking bitches.
Yeah.
Alright, I need to heal up here.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, shit. There's a little med thingy over here.
Uh-oh. I have max.
Oh, shit. Someone's popping up.
I have max gold.
Okay, this is
Oh,
fine.
love that.
Fine. Oh, nice problem to have. Can't relate.
Same, though.
Okay.
To be fair, I think she got all the gold from my kills, so there's that.
Nice.
Okay, shut up.
Actually, I should, honestly. We love stealing from men.
Exactly.
I do have some Flowberry Fizz for everyone whenever we get a chance.
Oh yeah, we can.
Okay.
Don't. I know
I'm
you
trying
want
so
to say
hard
it.
not to. I'm trying so hard not to say it. I'm trying so hard.
What's the big golden thing in the sky?
Is it a pin?
Oh, maybe.
Don't
The yellow?
see.
I forgot
hi.
that pins could be yellow
Yep.
because I only ever play with one person. So
I
there's
took
never
away
a
my
yellow
pin.
pin.
Okay. Alright, friends, hold on. Let me get
I don't know
healed
what
up
I'm
real quick.
doing. I'm just running around.
Why don't we all meet like
Yeah,
right here?
can we, like, all converge?
Okay.
Here.
Oh, those are logs. Is that what you used to build?
I'm coming.
I
I'm
assume so.
trying.
Ooh,
Oh, that's a good one.
big chest.
Can you grab the
Alright.
med kits?
Alright, come
Ooh,
here.
the shotgun. I'm gonna take that.
Come here.
Okay, we're gonna.
Oh, I don't actually need it.
I do.
Yeah,
have
I
a
do.
shield.
Are killing the
shooting us?
drones worth it?
They dropped some ammo.
Oh.
Cool.
Can somebody grab these med kits?
Probably, yeah. Did I just see a person or did I imagine?
Wow, Trev.
Oh, I'm getting a raid. Hi, Fox and
Always
Koala.
be burping.
Thanks for the raid.
Oh, hi, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders.
Hi. Hope you're all doing well. And thanks for the follow as well. And yeah, you play Fortnite. Cool, cool. I hope you had a good time. Hope you had good games.
10 kills on the board right now. I'm coming.
Is that us in a car or did I hear another car?
I was
hear car.
shooting a
Okay. Cool.
Drone.
And you're shooting. Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
I got another Flowberry Fizz.
I did too.
That is so nice
Nice.
to have. Oh.
Oh god, this is actually like so nice. You get a lot
Can
of good
someone grab the Jizzy juice? Oh shit.
No,
Good,
not right
shut
now.
up.
I should probably not use my worst weapon, should I?
Over here.
Behind this tree.
Yeah.
stuff. I'm kind of far away.
I'm very far away. I'm trying to kill
Oh,
this
we are
thing.
so not in the circle.
Oh, that's a good point, isn't it?
Well,
Okay, I knocked somebody down.
my
Love that.
reloading speed is so slow.
Oh, I've been having that as well. Is that a build thing, or am I just getting weird weapons?
Just your weapons, that's all.
Give me that. Okay, cool.
If you have an extended mag on your weapon, it will take longer to load.
I don't
Should
know
we,
what that is or how to do
should,
that.
Should we
Yes.
maybe like let's start running? Let's start heading.
Yeah,
towards
yeah, I think Bailey's onto
the
something.
circle.
I think that's.
Oh, there's
smart
a
thing
car
to
as well.
do.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's.
We do
there's
need
cars over here.
SUV.
Or a truck,
I don't
as
trust
Mimi says.
Trev to drive, but okay.
Have you been in the car with Mimi? I'll take Trev.
Trev is absolutely horrible at driving.
Okay, cool.
I'm in the car.
I'm actually semi decent at it.
No, I'm not.
I'm in me mum's car.
Broom, broom.
Get out me car. Oh yeah, I forget I can shoot out the window.
Yeah.
Trev and I died in there last time we played.
Oh,
No.
rip.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh, someone made a little thingy.
Nice, good for them.
Is that an NPC?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so bad at telling the NPCs from.
Me too.
I'm so bad, I
No,
just remember that one.
Those up there are not NPCs.
Oh,
Well, I have a rifle,
I've got a laser thing.
sniper.
Right here, right here.
Where?
Right where? Oh,
Literally
there.
right there. I can't see out the car window.
Oh, and on the road as well. There's two of them.
This is fine.
This is actually so.
Oh, there's
hard.
3 of them.
Yeah, if you don't keep the car super steady, it's super duper hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I need a reload.
Okay. That was not bad.
No worries for lurking, that's totally fine. I appreciate the raid. Thank you for
Have a
joining.
good lurk!
Yes, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for the
Do you wanna-
raid!
Yep,
Do you want to drive
W
through?
raid!
yep, I'm already working.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Drive through McDonald's.
No, I was
I
gonna
do
say,
wanna
do you
do
want to
that.
drive through one of the little like cactus bushes?
Oh,
Oh, I can do
yeah.
that.
for the
True.
shields. Oh,
Yeah.
Don't, Trevor,
Don't hit the
run him
NPC.
over. Trevor!
Trev!
Just relax.
You stress me out.
Oh no, I've got the
know-
thing as well.
Trev stresses me out.
Same.
You know, I'm tired of this slander.
Get out of the car, then let me drive.
No.
Just get us into the circle, my good dude.
True.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I kind of hate that I genuinely enjoy this game.
Me too.
It gets more fun if you have more people.
Oh,
That's
for
so
sure.
true.
For sure.
Playing by yourself sucks.
I mean,
That's
I think
okay,
that I
Barry.
have
Trev
fun when
likes it.
Playing with like just one person.
Ah, yeah.
I feel like having a full squad is definitely like optimal because there's a lot of you can use your friends as target. I mean,
Bestie.
I
mean, oops.
Okay, sorry about that. What the?
Oh,
yeah,
you're
where
good.
we stop going. Yeah, we got distracted driving
Why is
on
there
the road.
wait,
beep
wait.
beep.
Why is there a fall guy over there?
Lock him up.
There's a Fall Guys update. I don't know what they do.
Oh my god. Wild. Oh, I'm trying to get rid of it, sorry. I can't
Yeah,
get rid of it.
Barry,
That's okay.
I'm used to the verbal abuse. Person straight
Oh,
ahead.
person!
Get down.
They're still alive?
Oh,
Oh, there they are. Are they?
Where
Oh,
did
there.
Where'd they
Oh.
go?
I can't shoot because the gun is in the way.
Over there.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Oh yeah, I see him. Well, shit.
Good job.
Yay!
Can I reload my gun, please?
No.
You can reload when you get in the car. It like will do it.
Um,
Does anybody have whatever ammo? I don't know what ammo I need.
I don't know.
Heavy bullets.
Nice
I have
going,
made a
Trevor.
great mistake.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I have.
nice going, Trevor. Okay,
Wait,
there we
oh.
go.
I have literally 12 of them,
Baby.
Bailey.
Footsteps, footsteps.
Over there.
Everybody, everywhere, footsteps, footsteps.
Trev, you literally
I
just
see
did it
him.
again.
Trevor, can you get on the train track or something? You're gonna lose your driving privileges.
I know, this guy sucks at driving. And you're not giving us very good shots either.
Snow, if you're muted, I can't hear you.
I might not be muted. Am I muted?
Okay, you're not.
No, I actually
I
just
just
didn't
don't
speak for a
think-
while. Sorry, that's kind of my thing.
Oh, because I'm like, where are you? Where are you?
Are we in a circle?
Hi
Oh,
again,
yeah.
Blair. Hi, hi.
Are you good, my dude? What are you doing?
Oh, there's someone. Oh,
Destroying everything.
well, why don't you destroy
Okay.
the people and not the stuff?
Well, I'm sorry.
Because
do
every
you-
single time you hit one of those, your health when your truck goes down.
Oh, Trev is out of the vehicle.
I'm in.
Cool.
Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Alright, nope.
Okay, get in then, Trevor.
Get in the car. Is
Shoot
friendly
him.
fire a thing in this game?
I wish so hard right now. I've never wanted friendly fire in a game more than I do right now. Okay.
See, Mimi, the way you're going, we're going out of circle.
Okay, but the storm is not here yet.
Or
Do
we're
you
going out of
see?
circle. You know, we can't go
No,
out of circle.
now we're back in. Maybe it
Do
was
you
trying to
s-
get on the road to drive like a normal person.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm doing what is it called?
You know, instead of backseat,
I'm
you know,
securing
like
the
backseat
borders.
gaming, you guys were backseat driving.
I do that
You know
all the
that
time.
you do know that
bestie.
backseat gaming comes from the phrase backseat driving, right?
Noda.
Well, you know, the way you said it, I wasn't sure.
I just wanted to see what was up there, you know? They had
Like to-
made.
I want to
Okay.
kill someone.
Me
Maybe.
too.
I haven't seen
The
anyone
more
for
you run into
ages.
things, the more the health of the car goes down. Don't you
Okay.
know?
Yeah. Whee! And now we're on the road again. On the road again.
We are going towards some people that are actually good at the game.
That's okay.
I-
We're also good at the game.
Where are all the people?
Where
Uh,
are
no
you?
clue.
Oh,
The bulletproof tires.
have fun.
Look at
Oh.
boom.
Ah.
Oh, I just shot our own car.
This is fine.
It's fine, right?
Oh, that's Trev.
Our car's about to die.
This is
Oh,
fine.
yes.
Oh,
There goes the
our
car.
car's down.
Yeah, no, I'm down.
Just kill me. Just kill me.
No,
do it.
no.
Run me over. Run me over.
Damn. Okay. Damn. No. Okay. Well, this is fine. This is fine.
It's
I
fine.
can tell that like these people were good because they both groups had medallions. Somebody had the crown,
Oh
and
my
they've been fighting
gosh.
for a long time. So like they got some
Hmm.
skill. We don't.
The golden circles on the map. Oh. Oh. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Whoopsie daisy.
Can I look at my quests right now? Is that a thing I can do while spectating?
Whee,
I
there
do
we go.
love Oh, that roof is on fire. Oh, shit, you got 4? I mean, that's not bad. Are they with each other? They have their own cars each. Oh.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even really notice that.
True
I got
fourth.
0 eliminations, and my accuracy was 2%.
Nice.
I forget how I even see that.
Match stats.
Yeah, so like at the top it says match recap, and then
Oh,
there's
yeah,
match
yeah.
stats.
I got 5 eliminations.
Oh, I got 2. 2, we love. I'll take 2.
I did a thing.
I got some assists.
I got
Nice.
12.
Nice.
Nice.
I feel like it is just, it's so hard. I felt like where I was sitting in the car, the people were always on the right side of the car, but when I tried to shoot from the left side
Yeah.
of the
Go
car,
back to the lobby.
oh,
We gotta
Oh.
change- we gotta go
Oh,
back
yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah.
lobby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I can't-
Oh yeah, that's right.
You gotta press start and then return to the lobby.
I kept shooting the gun though. I kept shooting the freaking like machine gun thing.
Yeah.
It's so big. So how do I go back? Oh, here
I
we
like.
go.
I've been invited to take a survey, but I'm skipping it because it's like, why did you start playing Fortnite? And I'm just like, none of the above. Thank you.
None of the above.
I will
None
leave the
of
lobby when I
above,
can.
please. 0 build. Squad.
Should I change out my outfit?
Oh, you have multiple skins? Sheesh.
What do I do?
I swear the second you say a single skin is cute, it's gonna be, you're gonna have it.
There we go. Yes. Cool.
What you talking about? I didn't
If-
fucking do anything.
I feel like I could cosplay this outfit pretty easily.
Yeah, you definitely could.
It would be funny
But
if you
the
gave
thing
Snow the
is,
banana skin.
No,
the thing
let's
is,
not do that.
Baylee, could you carry a wrench that size?
Yeah, you just make it out of like paper mache.
Foam.
Or you can just
Or yeah,
get,
foam.
or you can just get a wrench that size.
Why would you do that?
Why would you? Yeah. Are you okay?
I don't think Trev's
cool.
okay. I think
I
that's
don't either.
considered a
Please,
weapon too.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
can't
playing
bring
the friends,
weapons
but
in.
thanks for
It's not
stopping
a
in.
weapon, it's a tool.
It's a weapon. It can kill you.
Get wrecked.
Do you think we should try and collect a medallion? Because that's the one thing I have left on my jumpstart quest. And now that there's 4 of us,
I do not know what that is.
I don't know what any of this is.
you have to kill one of the bosses. Oh no! Jack is gone! Oh.
Rip Jack.
Jack.
Oh.
I don't know who Jack is.
Nor do I.
Jack Sparrow! I
Oh.
love the ships. They were so good for getting loot.
Loot.
There was one ship that was on the corner of the map and nobody ever went to it. And then you could just
Oh.
go get a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm.
That does make sense though. It does make sense because the last time I played this game, it was like a couple
Ah.
days left and that was like a week ago.
Okay.
Wait, this isn't Celeste, like Celeste, right?
What
No, it's
the fuck? Oh no, was it the like galaxy skin thing?
yeah.
No, oh my god, if Celeste was in this game, I'd be all over it.
I was gonna say.
So there is a Galaxy skin that back when the Samsung Galaxy 10 came out,
Oh really?
if you went to Best Buy and played a round of Fortnite
Trevor.
on said phone, what?
Trevor.
What?
Ready up, please.
If you played a round of Fortnite on said
this
new
skin
phone,
is cool.
Thank you.
Oh,
It's a
the Billie Eilish skin is cute.
banana.
Maybe I should dye my hair like that. No, I won't.
you get through your Aloy cosplay first.
Happy please? No.
I think that they should make a Dan and Phil set on Fortnite, and I would buy the absolute shiza out of it. Like, I would buy every single part.
Love that.
What the hell?
Well, what?
Wasn't there an Aloy skin at some point?
Hey, Snow.
Yeah.
Any set reason? Okay. Yeah, because I got a follow on my page from.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
Person in
did as
chat.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, just so you know, everyone in chat, I'm speaking on behalf of Snow.
Go for it, go for it.
We're playing friends only. Do not put your tag in chat, please. Thank you.
Or add us by
And
just
don't
guessing
be
our names.
pushy. Yeah.
Also, genuinely unrelated, I will probably make this my last one, because it's nearly midnight.
Oh no.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Where we dropping?
Okay, Snow, you have to pick.
No.
Yeah.
For your last
Yes.
one, you have to.
I like this where we are, like, right now. I like this bit.
In the bus?
No, fucking what's below us?
Oh.
In the bus! Yeah, I'll just play the whole game there.
I like to play the game in the safety of the bus.
Well, true, though, to be fair.
I don't want to fight.
Also,
I'm a
Baylee,
lover, not a fighter.
Trev.
my arm, I am in pain. My arms hurt.
I wonder why.
Oh.
Oh, look, it's only the consequences of your actions.
Hey. If it helps me get in shape, I will take it. Okay.
Fair.
I want to torture
Genuinely that
myself
bad at this
to
game.
get
Oh
into
my
shape.
god. Oh my god. This person doesn't have a gun and I can't freaking kill them. There we go.
Oh, I had that
Oh, I picked him up.
maybe the last game?
I picked him up.
Nice. Go on a little adventure.
Ever eat?
Okay, I will
What?
say though, I'm now out of ammo.
Listen, I was surprised myself. I did as many as I did. I'm not gonna lie.
Did as many what as you did.
Push-ups. I did
push-ups.
150 yesterday.
Proud of you.
Who the fuck did that?
That's me. It was
Oh.
the
Yeah,
NPC
it's
I
an
heard.
NPC. That really scared me the first time I
Oh,
saw
that
it, too.
NPC, yeah.
Oh, that's a bad guy.
Bad guy? Where?
Where?
Behind me, I'm running away.
Oh,
Okay, I'm at the top of the stairs, Bailey. I see them.
Bad guy. Where's bad guy? Where's bad guy?
In the like swimming pool thing in the middle.
Oh wait, shit. I see him. I was
I
shooting
believe
at
in
you
y'all.
instead. I'm sorry. Where's this bitch?
Where are you?
They went around the corner. They're like,
Hi,
they
Trev.
run away.
I missed every single shot.
You miss 100% of the shots you take.
Exactly.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Where the hell? Oh, literally right
Right
there.
behind you.
Yeah.
Literally right. I'm like, look. Where are they?
Just the way of watching you spin.
Oh
around.
shit! There's someone right there. Oh fuck.
Getting spinning.
Spinning
like
like a ballerina.
broke shield on him.
What?
I broke his shield.
Nice.
nice.
Okay, what is med
Wait.
mist? Because I've got 150 of them.
So that is a
Med mist.
healing spray. So it'll heal you whatever percent you have. Like if you'll just spray yourself and heal yourself.
Okay,
that
cool.
way.
Imagine if that worked IRL.
If only, right?
I mean, I do think that they make medicine that's in a spray form.
True.
I mean nasal spray.
Oh!
You good, Baylee?
Oh!
Just the
What?
just the
Just
oh
the thought
and
of
then cut
nasal
off.
spray?
Yeah, totally fine. I just didn't realize that my jump was gonna do damage.
Okay, I've got a legendary minigun now. That seems good.
I have like nothing good
Hi,
right now.
Joel.
All of my gear sucks.
Oh, I found a fizzy juice.
Same, Joel.
So
So same. Oh my god.
Me.
What?
I
Yes.
have some shield potion for you.
I have the juice.
Oh yes, okay.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I
Does
think I
anyone
grabbed
else
some.
need the juice?
I would have a bit of it,
yeah.
yes, if it's going.
Okay.
I will take some juice.
Juice up. Come here, gamers. Let's
Hi.
juice up.
Juice up. Hey, town.
Whee!
Darn it. Darn it. Darn it.
Does anybody have any heavy ammo by chance?
Yeah, I have 6. I just threw it on the floor.
I have...
I don't know how to see that.
Where's your inventory?
Okay, I dropped some as well.
Holy crap! How do you have 47?
I've got more, but now I just realized I don't have any weapon. There you go. I have the rest of it.
Just
There
build
you go.
different. There's an ammo box right here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Baylee, there's your 6-pack that you wanted. Or gave me.
Well,
Gatekeeper
really need 'em.
shotgun. Gatekeeper girl boss
but
shotgun.
okay.
You got me spinning.
Like a ballerina.
Ow, why is that stuck in my head again?
This
I
is.
hate it here.
Oh, look at the consequences of your own actions.
You know, Mimi,
Oh, I hear a car.
I'm sick of it.
That's me. I'm
Oh,
Vroom
okay.
Vroomin'.
From
Wow.
me mum's car.
Ooh, it's
It's only a
purple.
twofer though.
That's okay.
Why do I have like nothing good? Oh my god.
Skill issue, probably.
Wow. I'm just
I
going to
need-
grab this
I
thing
need
over
it.
here.
Sure.
Shut up.
Listen, it's okay.
Ooh. Good point, Lal, yes.
Oh my god, your banana's sticking out of the roof of the car.
I am Potassius Peel.
Wow. Is that the name of him?
Yeah.
That is wild. We should totally stab Potassius Peel.
This is not sketchy at all.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, this is fine.
Your banana is sticking out.
Yeah, a little bit TOS.
Hey, yo!
Stop. If you go through that, is that gonna be dangerous? Should we just like maybe?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Artemis.
Oh,
Whee!
Boink. Thanks for the heals.
We're okay now.
see, Snow, I'm better at driving.
It's following roads. It's nice. This is calm.
Oh, the banana.
A banana.
It's an avocado.
Thanks.
Avocado.
Oh, the people.
Oh, you're shooting. Where are the
Straight
bitches at? I'm gonna fucking kill them. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I see him over there.
Goodbye.
Ooh.
Goodbye.
Frick. Oh, I totally missed.
Yippee!
You got it, Snow. You got him.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Good job,
Yay.
State.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's
Thanks.
an MP.
Mimi, I did get out of the vehicle. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, I didn't even see
okay,
them.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Whee!
Wait, why'd you get out of the vehicle though?
Can you
Because
blame
I
him?
was trying to snipe people.
Oh, where are you? Oh, I see you. You're way over there. Oh, someone has a medallion over there then. Should we
So
go
sorry.
after them?
So sorry.
That's okay.
So sorry.
Oh, sounds like they're after us.
Oh no, I'm driving. Oh no. Stand by.
I found someone up here. Woo!
Where's up here?
I kind of
Realize that it.
I ran them over.
Should we
we
get
go.
out and get in the bushes?
Yeah, I think so. So I can't shoot
Oh
in
fuck.
here.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh hell yeah! I killed them. It's fine.
Let's go.
I don't see him. Oh, I see him.
I'm here.
Ah! Right there.
Front of us?
I see him. Oh fuck. My car. My car.
Oh, okay.
Oh fuck. My pots.
Yeah. Oh, you're still alive.
fuck.
Oh, bye.
Good job, guys.
Okay, it's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is
It's
fine.
fine.
I literally suck at this game.
It's fine. Fine. I think it's fine.
Where's the one that was?
Probably don't want that.
Fuck.
Good job.
Okay. Everything's fine.
Okay, y'all, I'm kind of set on weapons. Do y'all need anything?
No.
Not really.
Cool.
What is that alarm?
Someone just got shot at.
It
What
wasn't
is
me.
that
Read the
alarm?
thing.
Oh, the alarm is a vault opening up.
Oh, someone's
Where we
opening
can
up
go
a
get good
vault.
stuff.
Yeah, Trev, you're head towards people. You probably know that.
Yeah, I know.
This is fine.
Oh, is that your NPC with you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It doesn't show up on the map. I
All
was like, oh
roads
god.
lead back to the Nitro Dome.
No.
Snow, are we driving or are we
Nitro
running?
Dome.
Oh, I've started running.
Nitro
If you want to
Dome.
drive, go for it.
Nitro Dome.
I'm also running.
Cool.
Let me know if y'all need ammo.
What?
Because I got.
I'm in a
plenty of ammo.
car. If anyone wants to hop in.
Oh, that kind of is working.
I'm running right now.
I don't think this is how it's meant to work. What is happening? Okay,
Baylee,
I don't.
You said you needed a, you needed a thing, right?
What do you mean by a thing?
Oh shit!
Yes.
Oh shit!
Okay,
Oh
I'm
shit!
gonna drop a medallion for you. If you wanna pick it up and then drop it back once you get.
This
the
is
thingy.
going the least well. If
Okay.
someone is watching me, they're gonna be making fun of me.
I don't know how, but I'm on top of the Nitro Dome.
Ayo.
Okay, I don't know how to. Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Thank
That's weird. That's a position you're not used to.
you. Hey yo.
No.
Yeah, on top of anything. Haha, very funny.
my god. Oh my. I cannot believe you just said that.
It's a thing on the channel, Baylee. It's just I'm just used to it.
It's a little hee-haw.
I took it a little too far. That's my apologies.
Oh, there's some juice. Wait, what'd you
That's
take too far?
hilarious.
Me?
What?
Alright.
That sounds very sarcastic when you say it like that, Baylee.
Mimi, I'm in the car with you.
I see.
Oh, I see the
Just in
car.
case you weren't aware.
I love this song.
Mimi, I will get out of the car if you drive into the Nitro Dome.
Oh.
Me though, honestly.
I'm just
Actually-
gonna go around.
If it makes you feel any better, there's nothing to worry about in the Nitro Dome right now.
That is so true.
Oh, hey Trev, do you see me? Up in at the top towards the center.
Rope
I'm
shield on
running
one.
through the Nitro Dome.
Oh, I see. I see him.
Freaking crack.
Your NPC is having a little fun time over there. Oh no! What happened?
I legit thought you were gonna take fall damage right there, Baylee.
I didn't realize that I wasn't gonna land.
Okay, there's a circle forming.
Oh, and we're not in it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm running.
If someone
towards
wants to
it.
ride with me, I have a car.
I've already started running.
Trevor!
What? You've left
Okay.
without us.
I am literally right by you. You just ran right past me.
Well, I didn't see you. I keep thinking
Wow.
snow is pick up snow, cause
No one wants to ride with me, Hateful. Okay.
I'm
going
already
without
in
you.
the circle.
yeah, go pick up
Wait,
snow.
I'm still behind. Oh, I can use the gloves. I can like speed my way over there.
Where
Hi.
are these shots coming from?
Get in
Why
the
can't
car!
Way-
I'm
way down
clicking
by the
it.
beach.
Okay. What's this? A grenade thing, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Not having
Someone
the
shooting at
ship
us.
is so weird.
Yeah, it is.
see
don't know where
in the
people
distance
are.
Right there.
I don't see them.
It's like over there, way over there.
They're so far I don't even see them.
Like past the hoop.
Oh, on the
Your
beach.
render
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
distance
yeah, yeah,
must
yeah.
be,
How do I change that?
you'll have to wait till next round.
Okay.
Oh, Magneto's firing at us.
Fuck. Fuck.
Fuck.
Oh, I gotta die. Ooh, I'm down.
Oh, I'm down. Jesus
I am
Christ.
dead.
Fucking hell.
Wow. Wow.
Are we running or are we fighting?
The Nitro Fist.
I don't think you got a
I'm
choice.
Dead, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, this
whatever you
Magneto is
do.
insane.
That item is broken.
Yeah.
That's been the
I'm not
major
very good
complaint
at
this
this.
season. Snow, you said that was your last one?
Yes, I am going to call it.
Okay.
Okie
alright.
dokie.
But
I'm returning to lobby.
thanks.
Yeah, because I gotta get ready for stream myself.
Oh, yes, go off, Trev.
Yeah. Yep, Sims.
Oh, Sims, okay.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright.
Have fun. All right.
Maybe
Good
you wanna
night,
play
everyone.
more?
You please keep playing. Please go for it. That's absolutely fine.
I think I'm
We don't
gonna
have
call
to
it
as
2
well.
for now.
Okay, no worries. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thank you for playing. It was so much
Yeah,
fun.
thanks for joining.
Bye,
Good
stream. Bye, Snow
night.
Stream.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ignore that friend request, because who was that? Okay, I'm still yapping, friends. I'm ending, but not like Alt F4ing stream. Fortnite's weird. It's like it's taking so long to load or let me tab in and tab out of anything. I'm level 27 now, apparently. Let's go. Leave. There we go. Friend requests. Let's get rid of that one. Yes. Okay. Stand by while I figure out how to get the music going again. Because I do forget how to do it. Oh wait, no, I know what I'm playing. But you won't hear it yet. How do I... Wait. There we go. That do it? Oh, I can hear my own microphone in my ears now. Eee, nasty. Microphone off. There we go. Okay, cool. Big stretch. Thank you, Lel. Thank you. Okay. You're gonna hear music, right? Yeah, cool. Okay. So, besties. Oh, hydrate as well. Oh, I'm out of the hydration right now. This is sad. Stand by. Yes, Joel. No, yes, Mimi. Joel offers to get in a car with you. Is this just me? Do your legs hurt after the cinema? Because my legs hurt after the cinema. There we go. Yes, Joel, I chose the music for you because we talked about it like 2 weeks ago. Yes, yes. I haven't had the problem. I think I've had that problem. You're in a recliner. Ooh, flex. I've not ever been in a cinema recliner. I've only have the standard seats. Bestie. Oh, besties. I've got news for you. How do I demonstrate this properly? Why is that? Ooh. Like that. Okay. So. You're gonna go to bed, no worries, Lel, no worries. Thank you for being here the whole time as well, and giving advice on Fortnite and stuff. Okay, so, at my cinema, right, you know there's always, like, the big, like, bulk bit of cinema with all of the rows of seats. Sorry, class is in session now. But then, you know, at the end, like, there's a little row of seats here, and you come in the cinema that way, but then there's a row of seats up above. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Well, they're showing all the Spider-Man films, right? And I like to sit here. In my cinema, they're divided into 3 seats, and that's it, right? And I like to sit here. Okay? Now, here's my little notes. So, I want to go and see Spider-Man 3 next week, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 I want to go see. And for both of them, my seats are booked up. So I'm fuming, right? I'm not happy at all. And also the row behind, these 2 seats are always out as well. And I'm like, who is always like booking these seats? Because I want these seats. I went today, and the Spider-Man films are all being shown in the same screen of the cinema. Those 2 seats are broken. So if I book this one, I'm guaranteed to not have anyone next to me. And I go to cinema on my own, so that is amazing. And I'm booking that, like, every time now. Because now I know the hack that in my cinema in screen 5, those 2 seats are broken. Get me in there every time, absolutely. Yeah, I'll just break them. I'll just break them again. If they break, I'll just break them again. No, if they get fixed, I'll break them again. Break everyone in the cinema. That's a strat, honestly. That is such a strat. Oh, that's always main. Joel, I beat Ocarina of Time yesterday. I don't know if you saw, but I beat Ocarina of Time. Hee hee. It was good. It was good. Sorry, I'm going back slightly and reading chat. Yes, my workout routine is going to the cinema. Thank you for asking. And yes, have a great night, Lau. Have a great night if you are still here. Your theatre's stuck in the 80s. Wow. Lurkin had to back out. That's so okay, bestie. That's so okay. Get a kickback. Yeah, like... Because I died in phase 2 of the boss and then didn't even get sent to the start of the boss. It was back to the top of the castle. I was like, ugh. Ugh, that's such pain. That is pain. But oh well, it's fine. It's fine, besties. Yeah. Didn't it was still fun? Yeah, oh yeah, it was still fun. It was still fun, and it was a good fight and a good game. I feel like I should play, at least do one more stream where we just try and do things. But I don't know what I need to do. I don't know what to do. But yeah, I'll figure something out. I should also edit them into YouTube videos, but who knows when that'll happen, probably like 2026. But that's okay, that's okay. Also, the full thing is now in a collection on my Twitch. Oh, just kidding, no, it's not. The last one's not in there yet. Let me add that right now. Add to collections. Ocarina of Time. Yay! Why does it still only say 10 videos? There we go. Okay. There is a collection there if anyone wants to see it. Yeah, I thought I had more yaps. I'm going back to the cinema tomorrow to see Deadpool and Wolverine again for the 2nd time. So definitely no stream tomorrow. I don't know when I'll stream next. I have no idea. I don't know. We'll simply have to see. Still gotta watch Deadpool. Just the most recent one, or any of them, Joel? Have you seen the first 2? Because I do like them. I do like them a lot. They are good. Skyloft, let's go. Like a prayer. Don't know which one that is. Like a prayer. The song at the end, I can't remember what it was. I think it was in the trailers, wasn't it? It'll come back to me. I can't picture it right now. I've just got In Sync in my head from the opener. That's not left my head since. And my TikTok is full of that one clip of Wolverine. Like, my whole TikTok is full of it, but that's okay. Sorry, there's something there. It's a bit cooler in my room now. This is good. Oh, I should go to sleep early. I don't want to. Right, I actually should end stream and try and go to sleep early. I feel like everyone and their mum's seen it. My mum hasn't seen it. That much I can tell you. Can confirm. EP, it's not that I'm EP, Blair. It's not that I'm EP. It's that I've got a plumber coming tomorrow first thing in the morning. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to do it. But I need to do it, so, you know, pain. No, I think Glug Glug Plumber fixed it. This is Toilet Plumber. Because my toilet's making a dripping noise. Just continually, just a dripping noise. This could have been an email. This could not have been an email, but... Well, it was an email. It was, please fix my toilet. And this is the consequences of my actions. The plumber phoned me up and was like, okay, yeah, I could come on Monday. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Monday morning, okay, yeah, that's fine. Just when you say Monday morning, what time does that, like, what time will that be? He said, oh, it'll be like between 8 and 10. The fuck do you mean 8 in the morning? No. Bad. Bad. Do not do that. You need to email about mold. Oh god, that's not good, friend. I hope that's okay. Because, oh dear. Oh dear. He wants to fix the toilet at 8 AM. I've now had a text to say it's going to be 9 to 10:30 that he's going to arrive. But still. Ew. Okay, there's no extraction in the bathroom. That's not good. That's not good, bestie. Yeah, oh dear. Oh dear. I've been living for JK Rowling in a mouldy house memes. I'm so here for it. I love that the internet's bullied her into learning how to blur her background now. Like, it's so good. It's so good. You're so confused. I don't know what it could possibly be. Some in the corners of your room. Oh no. Oh no, bestie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That stinks. And yeah, I hope to get it fixed, because that's not good. Right, well, because there's no way she actually lives with mold. There's no way that she lives with mold. But would you choose a wallpaper that's that ugly? Like, if that's just the design, that's hideous. Although, did you see the screenshot of, like, someone found that she'd done another video call in the same room years ago, and it really looks like the life's been sucked out of that room. Let me see if I can find it. See if this pulls it up. It doesn't. You can either afford to get small problem fixed or afford nice wallpaper. Barry, I don't think that's the problem. I think that wallpaper will have been expensive. Go on, give me a comparison image. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Oh, it's a bit small and a bit blurred. But like, when it looked so nice and airy and open, and then it's just dark and foul. Like, what? What? That was just... mistakes were made. Yeah, true. Seen ugly, expensive designer stuff. Or just stupid, expensive stuff. No, it actually does. It's like, it's wild. But it, like, there's... I feel like there's no shot that it can be mold. I feel like it just cannot be mold. But... what the fuck? I mean, I want answers out of J.K. Rowling for a lot of things, but, like... I want answers about that. Because what? I know, yeah, look at you, Joel. Well, the shit's happened, that's true. But I love that everyone's like, this is why she's the way that she is. She's just living in mold and it's corrupting her brain. It's like, that's quality content. Medically, I hope she's okay, of course, but like... Oh dear. Oh dear. I know, yeah, look at you. So thing. That's true, the mold could be coming from her. It could be like transphobe malice, gloom just coming out of her. Yeah. Oh, wow. Is rolling, what are you doing? Living in Resident Evil. Well, that's what people are saying with the comparison. Like, that the house is... You know, like, the house doesn't look as bright anymore. It all looks very, like... not good. And, everything about her... Yeah. So... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, go us. Ooh. But yeah, I hope your mold gets sorted, Blair. Don't just continue to live in mold, because that's not good. At the UKT these days. Oh no, actually no. There's severe civil unrest, riots on the streets. Children have lost their lives. No. Also, good move, Mimi. I meant to do that, but yeah. Honestly, I meant to do that at the time, but I accidentally clicked timeout instead of ban and just rolled with it. But thank you. Yeah, no, if... Not to make the stream go on a bit of a turn, but yeah, no, it's not been good. They were spying Trev's chat. They went over to Trev. Oh. And ban them in your chat as well, then. Ban them in your chat for sure. No, that's the right move. Yeah, Blair, that's not good. To be fair, you know someone else lives on your street as well now, Blair. They weren't in town either over the weekend, so... Ideal. No, same, I don't chat in strangers' chats. Yeah, no, I'm glad you weren't here, because that was not good. That was not good at all. Yeah. No, it's been a time, but... yeah. Hope you guys are safe. I mean... Yeah, luckily it's not been too... It's not been too geographically close to me. A lot of the riots have had themes of race running through them. So perhaps it's... I know some people are more affected by it than perhaps somebody such as myself. I'm very much aware of that. So like I've been okay, but it's not been good. It's not been good. Yeah, true. The government was on it with like, okay, you've lobbed. Let's not. You've set fire to things and hurt people. Jail. Like people have been on it. They've started opening courts on Saturdays. Love that. Love that. Oh yeah, for sure though. It's like it's not good. Blair, did you know they, my area where I work, where all my shops are, they all shut early one day. Actually, I think on more than one day, but only one day when I've been in, the shop shut early because, like, there were angry people getting close to where we were. Like, it was not good. Like, I was fine. But yeah, they almost locked down uni. Oof. I don't blame them, honestly, but yeah. Yeah, no. It seems like Like, one of below full lockdown. Dear. Oh dear. Yeah, true as well. For those on public transport, there's been many disturbances in that. Yeah, again, I don't particularly rely on public transport, so like it's not been as bad for me. So like I don't necessarily want to talk about all of the inconveniences because I think I've been able to like stay away from it just by where I work and where I live and how I get from one to the other. It's not been that bad, but yeah, no, it's been not the best. Is there any funny UK tea at the moment? I don't think so. To be honest, I don't think so. Yeah. I forget what news has happened lately. What's trending on Twitter at this exact moment? Yeah, I actually just know funny tea though. Mr. Beast's reputation seems to be going really in the bin. That's a thing that's happened. That's like the internet tea that I've been following. But yeah. Really don't think much has been happening, to be honest. What's happened there? A lot of stuff. There's, I mean, one of the like Mr. Beast's inner circle of friends that's like featured in all the videos came out as trans like a couple of years ago. And so like there's been controversy there, but now it's come out that completely unrelated to trans issues, they've actually done some like bad things. So it's like, oh yeah, oh no, ammunition for transphobes, but oh no, just this person's done bad things. But then now people are like, okay, and starting to come out with more and more things about Mr. Beast, and yeah, you know, Mr. Beast's been. Let's have a look here. I've fully, genuinely, accidentally typed into YouTube Mr. Breast. Complete accident, I promise you. Anyway, moving on from that, you know, there's, I mean, he's doing videos like, $10,000 every day you survive in a grocery store. So he's just taken this man. Don't get me wrong. Contracts have been signed. He's not like abducted a random person, but like just put somebody in a grocery store for, I think it was like 2 months. This guy was just in a grocery store. Like, what else has he done recently? He spent 7 days stranded at sea, and it's like, well, okay, apparently he actually didn't do that. He does weird. There's his videos seem to have got weirder and weirder, like more and more inhumane, but it was consensual, so it's okay. And now like contracts are coming out, and it's like there's a clause in the contract that says, I'm pretty sure I'm direct quoting this, no does not mean no. Like, oh god, it's bad. It's bad. Like, absolutely not. Yeah, not good at all. You know, age is 1 to 100, so he's got somebody aged 1 year old, somebody aged 2 years old. Of course, that's just their parents, but then like, and he just like keeps people. I remember I messaged my friend from school literally months ago, because he's never liked Mr. Beast. Literally months ago, I messaged him and said, at this point, it's pretty safe to assume that Mr. Beast has somebody held captive at every moment of every day. Like, it's got weird. It's got weird and not good. And then there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's now come out, and it's like, oh, that stuff is not being done safely. Sorry, I'm completely yapping. Rosanna Pansino, I think her name is, has done a good set of, I think, well, I've seen them on TikTok, but a lot of like piecing people's accounts together of like withholding medication and clean clothes and meals, and it's like, damn, just no, don't do that. It's not great. It's not been great. We've had mixed feelings. It seems like there's good things he's done with the money, but at the same time, stuff's been done has been questionable. It's people are now as well taking issues that it's like, hey, poor person, dance on camera and I'll give you some money. Like a bit like that energy as well, which I kind of, kind of get that. Yeah. So I'm actually just scrolling through his YouTube now, like, with all of his thumbnails that are probably AI generated as well. You've also mentioned a loss for you. That's so fair. That is so fair. I concentrate his name a lot. It's so weird because he puts so much money into his videos. Like, so much money goes into every single one of his videos. For them to turn out, like, meh. Meh. He did he built this whole obstacle course for somebody to do, and it was really meh. Like, it wasn't funny, like Total Wipeout or Takeshi's Castle's funny. It was just... They spend days and days... they spend days doing things or going to places. Sorry, this is something that I've thought a lot about in my own time. I'll type his channel in correctly this time. I spent 7 days in an abandoned city, is the video title. 7 days in an abandoned city. How is the video 17 minutes long? How do you spend 7 days somewhere and get a quarter of an hour of footage? Like, that's what I don't get. I don't understand, like, how so much effort can come to such middle-length content, because, like, oh, it's good for the algorithm, okay, but, like, some channels do really long uploads, and they bang every week, so, like, what are you talking about? To give a comparison, the UK YouTube group The Sidemen have been pumping out videos that are usually over an hour and a half long every single week, and they all get millions of views. Like, yeah, 7 days, not even 30 minutes. I don't, like, not even close to 30 minutes in that case. Long clips aren't really suffocated by the algorithm anymore as well. Because that used to be the argument that they were. But I think even back then, if it was done right, it works. Like, let's be real here, I have watched video essays that are like 4 hours long. I've done that. Not a lot of them, but I have done that. If the video is good, I'll watch it. How long are Summoning Salt videos? Summoning Salt. I think they're in like half an hour, aren't they? What are the really good ones? Yeah, like 5 Doctor essay on Chibnall, that's so fair. I mean, I watched a 30-minute video essay on one track from Mario Kart 64. Like, if the video is good, I will watch it. Like, it's so good. That's not the good Aquatic Ambience. There we go. I've not seen the video. I'm not sure. I might have done. I really want to watch Peter Capaldi's Final Story again. Like, the urge is really calling me right now. Made the community explode. Love that. Love that. You watch police body cam and interrogation videos. Oh, interesting. True crime era. Love that. I'm watching a lot of playthroughs at the moment. Now I've finished Ocarina of Time. I can watch playthroughs of Ocarina of Time, of course. But also I've found a guy who's like currently uploading No Man's Sky playthrough. He's never played it before and he's starting. And it's like becoming my life. And all the videos are an hour long and he's posting one every few days. Like, yes. Absolutely yes. Did your dissertation on it? Ooh, interesting. Interesting. This song's so good. I don't know if Joel's still here, but the song is so good. Art and media related to true crime. Could you do another dissertation on Mr. Beast and how many illegal things he's done on YouTube? Because like the recent one from like the last couple of days is apparently he's broken the Geneva Conventions for a video. Like, oh shit, that's not good. Committed literal, I forget what it's called now. Geneva Convention. What's that? That's not like, that's not terrorism, is it? I forget what breaking the Geneva Conventions is like classed as the crime. Yeah, white room torture. War crimes. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, not the best. Not the best look, Jimmy the Beast. That's the war crime, yeah. I'm just scrolling down YouTube now. Sorry, I've got sidetracked. Yeah. One of his like former friends and editors said he was put in a white room for X amount of time, like a long time, and like they didn't like even turn the lights off to allow him to sleep, which is again a method of torture. Like, no, that's not good. Yeah, not good at all. Sorry, actual yapping, rambling time. Yo, I'm not exaggerating. My legs feel like I've done a workout and I've just been to the cinema and... I mean, I did do some shopping. To be fair, I did do some shopping. But, like... it wasn't that heavy. I really feel like I had something to show the stream. But I don't know. I know, right? Doing some shopping, I'm going crazy up in here. To be fair, I had to buy in the same day milk, orange juice, and a big bag of pasta. Like, heavy shopping. Heavy shopping, but you know. What can you do? Ow. Oh, Celeste 64. Cute. Right, should I stop streaming? Because, again, I need to go to bed. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you need to go to bed because you want to go up early to go to the gym. Have fun. Yes, do go to bed. I need to go to bed because I just need to let my plumber in at 9 in the morning, and I prefer not to get woken up by him ringing my door buzzer. So, yeah. But yes, go to bed, Blair. Go to bed, go to bed. I hope you have a good night's sleep. I hope it's not too hot where you are. I hope you're doing well. I read that as good night, Bish, not good night, Blair. But yes, nighty night, friend, nighty night. Yeah. Good night, Bish, good night. Not dying, so you should be able to sleep. That's good. That's good. It's hot in here. Good night, Bish. Good night, Bish. Okay, we're gonna go and we are gonna raid Trev. Trev is building new Sims on Sims 4, so we'll go and do that. So we're gonna go raid Trev. There's the raid message. He's making you. Nice. Also, Mimi, as you're here, I added a new command just for you. There you go. That's just for you, Mimi. You are welcome. Hi. Hello. Mimi, your sim is looking good. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking how best shall I phrase this, but yeah, you're hot as fuck. Okay. Berry, wait for when we raid. You'll see what I mean. Okay. We're not going to do that raid message. That's the raid message. The raid message is, damn, she hot as fuck. Get your raid message copied, everybody. Get your raid messages copied. We're going to go over to Trev. There we go. Thank you for copying. Okay. Raid is starting. So, thank you for being here. I'll stream again. I have no idea. I won't lie, I don't know when I'm going to go live next. It'll be a few days, probably. I know Vic's not streaming this week, so I might stream in the week sometime. Mimi, if you want to go live soon, that would be nice. No pressure. But yes, okay. I'll end screen and end stream. Love you, friends. Squeak.